Hello, and welcome to a new playlist on the channel. This playlist is going to be looking at the Age of Empires 4 single-player campaigns. We're going to start with the Normans campaign, and that starts at the Battle of Hastings, so let's crack on.
Some events leave a deep mark on history, but none on the land. This is the site of the Battle of Hastings. After almost 1,000 years, no traces of the bloody conflict can be seen. But here, the fate of England turned. It's where a king was killed, and his victor claimed the throne. October 14th, 1066. We know what happened here on this day, thanks to this. The Bayeux Tapestry. A carefully preserved, illustrated record of events. It shows the main players. Harold, the newly crowned Anglo-Saxon King of England, and his challenger, William, Duke of Normandy. William claimed the previous king had promised him the crown. So, he assembled an army and prepared to sail to England to fight King Harold for the throne. But a storm thwarted his plans. Meanwhile, Harold discovered that a Viking invasion had landed in the north. Another threat to his crown, so he raced to fight them. In France, William waited for the right conditions to sail across the Channel to England. The weather cleared. He seized his chance. 250 miles north, Harold had defeated the Vikings. Now, hearing of William's arrival, his army sped south. At 9 o'clock in the morning, on this hill, William's Norman army were ready to do battle with Harold's Anglo-Saxon men. The stage was set, and up for grabs, England itself.
So William's come to Hastings to take the crown. We'll be taking control of William of Normandy's army and attacking King Harold, who's putting up a defence after another battle already.
On October 14th, 1066, William of Normandy stood ready for battle at the base of a hill. The high ground belonged to King Harold of England and his Anglo-Saxon army. Here, on this hilltop, the fate of England would be decided.
Okay, so we've got control of the blue army at the bottom of the hill. The red army's on top of the hill. That's Harold there with his crown above his head. And we've got William on top of horseback, again with the crown above, so we can pick out our leaders. So we need to attack the force on top of the hill. Alright, just start shooting.
The Norman army made the first charge, launching a direct assault on the shield wall.
As you can see, there's almost too many men for the gap. So numbers don't count for much now.
Though William's army fought fiercely against the shield wall, it would not yield. As one man fell, another took his place. Overlapping shields in tight formation made for a near impenetrable barrier. Realizing his army could not break the shield wall, William called for a retreat.
So we take our guys back down the hill.
He aimed to lure the Anglo-Saxons into a false sense of victory,
And here they come.
causing them to break formation.
So we can take all these
William's
guys out.
feigned retreat was working. The Anglo-Saxon army broke their shield wall formation, leaving gaps for William to make a move.
So now we can attack. We have a skill that our leader can do, which is where he rallies his allies. It gives us increased ranged attack and melee attack for 15 seconds. That should help do some damage. Now we've re-engaged.
No longer in shield wall formation, William could pick them off as they charged.
So we're killing the shield wall. They've got a whole load of spearmen on top of the hill, which we'll have to deal with in a minute. But for now, there we go.
The Anglo-Saxons had deployed rows of spearmen to push back.
Okay, so we've got some archers now.
But William had an answer. His sharp-eyed archers.
So Age of Empires 4 works on a sort of counter system where archers would be better against spearmen than, let's say, other units. Any sort of lightly armoured infantry, archers do pretty well against. Spearmen, on the other hand, will do very well against horsemen. And then horsemen would do very good against archers because they're quite lightly armoured, so the horses can rush in and get them. And then you have sort of more armoured infantry, more armoured horses, and they're sort of more powerful, so they sort of have to combat each other. You do also get crossbowmen in the game, which are pretty decent against armoured infantry and horsemen. And then you also have siege, and yeah, if you can get close to siege with some of the infantry, that tends to do the job.
More Norman men-at-arms reinforced William's army.
That's good, because we're losing a lot of our troops. But our archers are doing a fairly good job of taking out the spearmen.
Anglo-Saxon archers joined the fray, and the Normans' deadly cavalry ready to charge.
Yeah, so their archers are involved now.
William's forces had to eliminate the enemy spearmen, whose sturdy polearms could easily bring down a horse.
Yeah, so we want to take out their archers. So we've got some horsemen. But the horsemen won't attack until we take down their counter, which is the spearmen. Got some more men-at-arms coming. Let's get them involved. The archers are doing a pretty good job. But the sooner we get down these spearmen, the sooner we can get our horsemen involved. Okay, there we go.
Threat of spearmen cleared from the field. William's cavalry was free to charge at the Anglo-Saxon archers.
So we can take our horsemen up the sides, get them into a position to attack the archers. Archers on archers is pretty good as well, as long as you outnumber them.
The Anglo-Saxon army was in disarray.
There you go.
The shield wall had been neutralized, and their numbers were dwindling. Now,
Take out the
the
spearmen.
only thing standing between William and victory was King Harold himself.
And there's Harold with his crown. So you take down this guy, and then we pretty much leave their army leaderless.
The last of Harold's men encircled their king, prepared to lay down their lives.
Let's use the archers to try and take out Harold if we can. Oh, getting attacked. Let's power up our troops. We've got some more men hanging down here. But Harold doesn't seem to be moving very much. He's taken a lot of arrows. I'm fairly sure in real life he was killed by an arrow. I'm pretty sure there's some image in the Bayeux Tapestry where he's shot in the eye. It's probably the only remnant of school history that I remember.
More Norman cavalrymen took to the field.
And there we go, Harold's down, he's fallen.
The
Some of his men are
Anglo-Saxon
routing.
Harold had fallen.
Can't really blame his army for running away a little bit.
Some loyal soldiers fought to the death, while others scattered in panic.
Norman army? The Anglo-Saxon army's already been in one fight against the Vikings in the north, and now they're battling another army, so it's... yeah, it must have been hard for those who survived the first battle.
Leaderless and defeated, the last of the Anglo-Saxon army fled for their lives. The Normans celebrated victory over the English king, but William's quest to rule England was just beginning.
Okay, victory. The first step of the Normans campaign is complete. We've invaded England. We are victorious. Now it's time for William the Conqueror to get a grip on the country. And that's sort of where we end up going next. But thank you all for watching. Please watch out for the next videos in the series, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much.